So your team did the AI training. They were excited. They started. They even got a certificate. Some of them even posted it on LinkedIn. Maybe it was even mentioned during a huddle. Maybe even mentioned, in a newsletter. You know, the marketing team went on a AI training, or the sales team went on an AI training to level up. But in reality, nobody, and I mean nobody, maybe one or two people of the whole team that went, changed how they work. And here's the thing that almost nobody tells you. It's not your team, it's not you, it's not the training program. It's that they were training on a company that doesn't really exist. Like, the course is good, the trainers were good. Let's say we call it Macrum AI training, whatever, just a fictional name. But they created a course that was teachable, because if they would have it on a real messy, curriculum, then yeah, it's hard to build and it's almost impossible to sell. So, the few who were able to actually finish it, they went back to their old ways. Because if you run into a challenge, like, you want to have your email marketing to go out and you don't have enough topics, or you really want to follow up with the leads that are coming in and you just can't keep track, and then you want to close them and then someone else already closed them. When people are under pressure, or really strong deliverables, people obviously are going to navigate that in the way they know best, which is doing it the old school way, maybe doing it the manual way, which they know works, right? 12%, that's it. Around 12% uses it. So 1 out of 8. So imagine you have a larger team, or your entire marketing team is 8 people, or your sales team is around, well, most sales teams are a little bit bigger than that. But it's 12%, right? And it's not because of them. It's just because the way most courses are set up is fictional, right? The example was too clean. And obviously, the reason why humans are always going to have a major role in companies, and it's not all going to be taken over by AI, is because the mess, right? The mess that has to be cleaned up. That is the job. Like, thank God there is a mess to clean up, because otherwise there wouldn't be any need, for humans to do the work. But that, the judgment, is this campaign aligned with the previous campaign we did? Is this aligned with our values? Is this actually part of the brand guide? Or, you have a lead and you're onboarding them. Are you onboarding them in all the right steps? Are we missing anything? How did the discovery call go? What are the real needs? Those things, we need humans for that, right? Like, these are some of examples. Is it on point? But what we've approved now is that the same as last year's campaign. And, the investor that says, look, we're investing money, but we need to make sure that we're going towards this direction, because we believe that's just very important. Yeah, the human in the loop, and actually not even the human in the loop, but the human in the lead. It's crucial, right? So if you have a training and the training is clean, then people sitting in that training are like, yeah, but this is not how my Tuesday looks like. This is kind of how, this is like pie in the sky. This is like blue sky thinking. This is not reality. Reality, it's messy, it's broken, things have to be fixed. We can't find, the right logos or the right assets. And the training isn't talking about any of that. But what if your whole team was actually AI native, right? What if your team actually understood? Like, I'm not saying we love email. Probably most of us don't like email. Some of us even hate email, right? Or, like, let's take Slack, for example. Most people are Slack native, right? And we know how to use it. Sometimes you might miss a message if it's like in a thread. I know I've done that, but most of the time, we've worked with Slack for years. It's part of most companies' culture. At Torque, we also use Slack, and most companies do that. Imagine if people are just as native with AI as they are with using email, using Slack, aka they don't even think about it anymore. And there's a different way of thinking. Well, imagine if everyone on your team had that capability. and how more productive they could be, how more money the company could actually make, how faster a lead would be followed up. Well, that's exactly what we do at Torque. AI training, also helping with sales, helping with marketing. I'm the founder of Torque. If you're still with me all the way through, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.